Is it possible to build $1 million portfolio in the stock market starting with small beginnings?
Bart, with $10,000, we'd be millionaires.
It sure is. And although I'm not there yet, in this video, I wanted to share with you my portfolio that I have with Interactive Brokers. It's a portfolio of fractional shares. It's focused on growth stock and how we've started from very humble beginnings and how we are gradually making our way to grow this portfolio to a much larger size. I'm going to be sharing with you all my holdings in this portfolio, their return transparently, and what's our strategy when it comes to growing this portfolio to a much larger one. So let's get into it. First things first, before we get into reviewing the entire holdings, let's take a look at overall performance of this account. You'd notice that the current balance of this account is at 4,700, roughly 4,800. And in terms of our return, if you look at the past 1 year return, at one point, the account was doing much better in terms of the return, close to 27%. But the past several months, the account has definitely been down. And currently, it's showing only a 1 year return of 2.78%. If you look at the past 1 month return, you'd notice it's down by 8%. The month to date return in January, it is actually down by 11%. And the 7-day return is also down by 8%. Definitely some poor 7 days in the stock market for us. Let us take a look at a little bit of overall portfolio allocation. Pretty much entire portfolio is in stocks with a slight portion of cash. In terms of the sector breakdown, our largest exposure is actually to technology, followed by communications, and then consumer cyclical. The other portfolios that we have some good exposure to includes financials, as well as we have some exposure to energy, and the rest is in others. We also have a look at the specific industry, with the largest industry exposure being in internet, followed by we get some exposure to software. We got also exposure to semiconductors, auto manufacturers, and computers. Now, with that out of the way, let's dive into our specific holdings we have within this fractional portfolio with Interactive Brokers. On top of our list, sorted out alphabetically, we have Apple. We have 3.08 fractional shares of Apple, and it is showing an unrealized profit of $148 or up 41%. Next on our list, we have Adobe. We have 0.62 fractional shares of Adobe, which is up by 9.6%. Next, we have Amazon, 0.11 fractional shares. It is down by 1.4% or $4.95 USD unrealized loss. Alibaba is another holding. We have close to a share, 0.98 to be exact. It is down by 27%. Costco is another holding. It is a little bit of a, not necessarily a 100% growth stock, but rather a little bit of that dividend growth. Here with Costco, we have 0.52 fractional shares. It is up by 34% or $64.90 US. Disney is another holding. We have 1 share, slightly over that, and it is up by 15%. Etsy is another recent holdings that we're trying to add to our current holdings as well. We have slight shares of Etsy with only 0.05 fractional share. It is down by 18% or down $1.78. Netflix, another holding, it is up by 4% or $14.70. We have 0.73 fractional shares of Netflix. NIO, a car automaker, we have 2.27 fractional shares, which is down by 28% or down $25.80 USD. NVIDIA is actually one of our best performing holdings. We have 3.92 fractional shares. It is up by 83% or 444 or 443 US dollars. Realty Income Corporation, we have 1.5, close to 1.59 fractional shares. It is up by 18% or 16.80. It is another dividend paying stocks, which is a combination of growth and dividend. Okta, another company that we have, is 1.80 fractional shares of it. It is down by 17% or $75. We've been adding to our shares of Okta today. In fact, we bought some fractional shares of Okta in this trading day in the stock market today. Orion Office REIT is another holding. We have 0.08 16 fractional shares. It is down by 3.1% or 9 cents. UiPath, the ticker symbol PATH, is another holding. We have 1.05 fractional shares. We added to our shares of PATH today as well. We bought some more. It is down by 26% or down $12.90. Plug Power is one of our other holdings. We have 4.86 or 87 fractional shares of it. It is down 29% or $42 roughly US dollars in negative unrealized loss. Roku is a holding that we have 0.64 fractional shares of. It is down by 32% or down $50. Tesla is in fact our best performing holding, 0.64 fractional shares of it. It's up by 146%. Gigantic return for that, or $376 US dollars in terms of unrealized profit based on the amount of shares that we have. TSM is one of our holdings. It was down and negative territory, but since the last update, it's actually recovered and it is now showing 12% positive return. We have 0.22 fractional shares of it, or up $3.08. Take-Two Interactive is another holding we have. We have 0.3 fractional shares. It is up by 5.7%. We made a video on our channel recently, as soon as Take-Two Interactive, in fact, discussed that they are going to go ahead and proceed to acquire Zynga, which in that video we talked about how that could provide a massive opportunity for both companies. In this case, of course, with Take-Two Interactive longer term acquiring it and becoming one company altogether, given the fact that through that acquisition, Take-Two Interactive could actually expand its market into mobile gaming and really capitalize on that. The stock was at the time hovering very close to its 52-week low. I believe at the day that it was announced, the stock hit its 52-week low, and we talked about in the video how it actually is gonna have a huge upside from there. I'm very happy actually to see that the stock has quite nicely rebounded from there. While it's still far away from its 52-week high price, definitely improved and increased from the 52-week low price. And we put our money where our mouth is. In fact, we talked about that video, we did our research, and we believe that that's a great acquisition should that go through. And based on that, we also went ahead and bought fractional shares of Take-Two Interactive. So it's our newest addition to this portfolio. We have currently 0.03 fractional shares, and it is currently up by 5.7%. Twilio is another holding. We've been adding to our existing shares. Today we bought some more fractional shares of Twilio to take advantage of the decline in the price. It is down 32% overall for our portfolio, or 73.90 cents. And lastly, we also have one share position here. It is a Canadian holdings, a very good food. We have 146 shares. It is down 80%. It's actually our worst performing in a sense. And it's in Canadian dollars, with 436 Canadian dollars in the negative territory, which is just horrible in that sense. As I promised, I wanted to also share with you what is my investment strategy in this portfolio. Currently, really the approach that I'm taking is trying to add to my fractional shares of the holdings here in this portfolio, and I believe in all of them, but really I'm focusing more so on the ones that have had the highest hit in terms of the price. With the only exception of Very Good Food, that's the company that I'm not going to touch. I'm going to just leave it as is. The ones that I'm particularly interested in and adding to my existing holdings include Okta, Twilio, Etsy, Roku, and the other one is gradually adding to our existing shares of Alibaba. Not as heavily, but definitely if we have some funds on the side, those are the ones that I'm adding to my current holdings. Plug Power is another one that I'm interested in, but not as bullish about, hence more so focusing on the other names that I indicated for you. I would love to hear from you. What did you think of my holdings in this growth/dividend portfolio? Do you have any similar stocks in your own portfolio? Let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you and know what type of stocks you are invested in. If you enjoyed this video and it gave you some inspiration to get started investing, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. It really means a lot to me and helps the channel to grow. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Here on Momentum Finance, we post every week several videos, whether it's investing, in the stock market, investing in the real estate or cryptocurrencies, as well as talking about ways to reach financial freedom. Thank you, and I hope to see you next time.